If Hassan did nothing wrong, you don't have an issue with the behavior, you have an issue with the double standard, then why are you mad at Hassan and not Twitch? Of course. He's not playing the game, guys. He's trying to get the truth. Surely we won't find anything that contradicts that, right? Why don't you just let him get away with it and change his position when it's convenient? Thankfully, I know better. Thankfully, I know better, and I know he's being dishonest. But he almost convinced me that he's 75 IQ with that one. He could just admit that. He could just admit that, but I don't think he will. This is just so embarrassing from all three of these people. The other day, I spoke about how Willy was totally compromised, and he was itching for any opportunity to jump back in bed with Destiny and Dan, because it's profitable and beneficial, and he enjoys it, and he likes every aspect of it, basically. And so he wanted to do that without any public criticism, pretty blatantly, I think. Even down to the first video I made on Destiny, where for apropos of nothing, when he wouldn't do this with anyone else, like Hassan or whoever, he would absolutely never offer a path to redemption. But for some reason, he decided that he was going to just keep doubling down on it and taking these crazy shots. And then he went and joined, he decided to become Dan's co-host. He agreed to become Dan's co-host. And we saw that just after I spoke about it last.
Happy July 7th, Kuihman. Bus emoji, bomb emoji, fire emoji.
Thank you for the $5, Jimbly. Huge appreciated. Me. Okay. So Dan says here, I'm trying to do a weekly show with Willy and possibly Nicholas DeOrio. But for sure with Willy. So Willy was on board. Dan even announced it. This Friday, 7 PM ET, join me and WillyMacShow for a special meme.
Gorilla emoji.
Thank you for the 690. Huge appreciate. Thank you. So this was all set. This was all ready to go. Willy was totally in. But it all came crashing down. Okay? It all came crashing down. Because of shocking new information. Okay, guys, shocking new information. Did you know that Dan... Okay, guys, and this is going to be crazy to you. I know, this is shocking. This could be shocking new information. Did you guys know that Dan doesn't really care about internet etiquette surrounding doxing and copyright strikes? Did you guys know this? Did you know this? I know this is going to be new information. This is very obscured from public view. For a lot of you guys. This was very hard to find out, I know. So Dan decided, for some reason, to go on Nick's stream, repeatedly double down on several points where Nick was telling him, I'm not accepting this. This does not fly. This simply does not fly with any reasonable assessment of the facts. The one time in the last few months that Nick's done that, by the way, with anything that benefits Ethan. And I'll show an example of that. I will show an example. We will, after we've dealt with WillyMac, we will talk about how, you know, as much as I appreciate that Nick is showing some fucking sense and wherewithal right now, we're already kind of past the point of displaying principles. And it can be demonstrated very easily. Okay, it can be demonstrated incredibly easy. And I'll go through one example, okay, that just shows it blatantly. So, and listen, I'm not doing this because I'm like, I fucking hate Nick, or I fucking hate Willy. It is just disgusting to me that these principles were thrown away so readily for the benefit of this just utter piece of fucking shit, Ethan Klein. So they did it with Destiny 2, to be clear. They did let the principles slip with Destiny 2. So it's annoying enough they did it once. But the second time, I never said I didn't hate Willy. Correct. Yeah. I said, I'm not doing this just because I fucking hate Willy or hate Nick. What do you mean? But listen to what I'm saying, Orpheus. I know you're retarded, but I'm praying you can follow a sentence. I'm praying, okay? Absolutely begging that you can follow a fucking sentence. So I'm saying, not doing this because I hate them. I do hate Willy. I fucking hate Willy. I think Willy is a worthless, stupid as fuck, mongoloid, slack-jawed idiot who makes terrible videos that are an obvious political hit pieces while lying through his fucking teeth that he doesn't believe anything about politics, doesn't like politics, you're not right. Because I said, I'm not doing this because I hate Willy. I'm doing this because of the principle. Okay? That's the point. I do hate Willy. For all those reasons I just listed and more. Because he doesn't understand first-hand versus second-hand sources. Because he allowed Erudite to get inside his fucking head and drive a direction that first Destiny video. Because he's a complete, worthless, slack-jawed degenerate who pushes absolute fucking bullshit. Yes, I hate him. For all those reasons and more. But the principle here is about copyright. It's about fair use. It's about maintaining a good media environment that holds those with power accountable. It's about free speech. It's about the issues at play. It is not about fucking hating Willy or hating Nick. No matter how much they want to spin it. Willy wants to spin it as me hating him. Nick will spin it as all these people just hate him for, I don't know, being associated with Destiny or something. They all want to just spin it as hating them. It's not about that. There are clear, easily displayed instances where their principles have slipped or they have behaved in ways that do not line up with the positions they've previously taken. So, after this tweet, obviously we've covered the whole Hassan doxing thing. But Dan spoke to Nick twice. In one instance, Dan spoke to him about the Diddy party stuff. Hassan going to Diddy parties. In the other instance, he spoke about doxing. So let's watch the doxing conversation. This is the only one we're going to watch. We're not going to watch Nick's coverage. We just want to watch the Dan debate. Okay. Now, I think we might want to watch the intro. I'm not sure, though.
I'm only arguing that it's illegal on Twitch.
Wait,
I can't
what
make
is
my
illegal
Thank you for the membership,
on
thank
Twitch?
you.
Do the courts use that to serve somebody?
That's the game. You
But
can't
I'm
be
not
upset
playing
by
the
that.
game. I'm trying to get the truth.
No, it's not my game. That is the game. Like, if you're out...
So, absolute cap. Nick is 100% playing the game. Okay, there's no room for doubt. The only reason he started flipping all of a sudden is because Augie and other people in the commentary community started flipping. And Nick does not only want... Like I said, I don't think Nick's like a pure money-hungry grifter. There's a lot of things Nick wants. He enjoys... destroying Hassan because he feels like Hassan slighted him and all his nephews have slighted him. So he likes using Ethan for that. He likes being able to see a big drama happening and be close to the situation without necessarily incurring any damage. He obviously likes the money and the attention as well, I'm sure. But what's this?
I can't
What
make
is
my name.
illegal on Twitch? Do the courts use that to serve somebody?
That's the game. You
But
can't
I'm
be
not
upset
playing
by
the
that.
game. I'm trying to get the truth.
No,
He is playing the game. He is playing the game because the other thing he wants is the respect. He wants the respect of being the top guy. Okay, that is what he wants. And when Augie and all these other people start suddenly flipping from one side to the other, and Nick flips with them, it's pretty blatant. When you haven't addressed it in any way, it's not just that these lies are too far and you can't follow these ones, because we can show old lies that you've gone along with. It's because the vibe has changed. We can tell it's because the vibe has changed. Willy, however, I think switched for a different reason, which we'll get into.
It's not my game. That is the game. Like, if you're out here like, I can't believe you're pulling up tweets from 10 years ago. Listen, bro, I don't know what to tell you. That's the world. That is never changing.
But you're just throwing shit at the wall. What makes you better than him? What makes you better than Hassan Piker?
I'm glad you asked. Because my side is honorable, and it was obviously taken out of context.
Like, unironically, that's why we can't do a show.
So yeah, it's just Dan saying, basically, no bad tactics, only bad targets. Okay?
Hello. Bro, okay, so it's okay if I set my name to Nicholas DeOrio on Facebook and start shit-talking streamers and have them pull up your Facebook? Okay, Dan, there's a huge fucking difference than you pulling up my Facebook that is privated, that you would have to, like, get access to.
I believe Nick's key skill is reading the room, okay? That is what Nick does best. He simply assesses, where are people at? Where is sentiment at? Where can I be? That is his best skill.
By friending me and shit.
Are you a virgin?
And
No,
pulling up a YouTube channel.
Why would so many
It's a
people
YouTube
be
channel.
doing
These are
that?
all publicly available videos. They're uploading videos with the express Dan, you want to call about this? Do you want to talk about? I don't want to fucking blow up on you on stream, but I will bring you in here if you want to argue this with me, because this is the easiest debate I've ever had in history. If you come in here and talk about it, I would love to. If you want to come on here and explain this to me, you're already calling. Okay, listen, that's not doxing. Hello, Dan Saltman on the air. What's going on?
God, I've been smashing my fucking face against the
All
keyboard.
right, please just tell my audience why I'm wrong and a malicious actor.
Oh, you're so wrong. You're so dumb. So what about you're thinking about big YouTubers. What about if I'm just fucking Orpheus, like Orpheus 315, and I'm small and my YouTube is just me hanging out with my kids and nobody knows
Orpheus
about it, and I have
reference?
fucking 3 subscribers.
Yeah,
Orpheus
it's not
reference?
to pull up a YouTube channel with somebody's
just
kids
spat
that they
when I
willingly
spoke.
upload.
It's nothing to do with anyone else, bro. It's not. I just set my name to someone else. I come into your shit and I start shit talking.
YouTube is not a site to post your private movies and family fun and all that stuff.
I would
it's
agree.
It's a website.
I agree. This is retarded. Okay, but people have public Facebook pages also. Okay, so you
sure,
can't
and
say
it's different than a content creator on a content creator website and a second content creator website. That is insane.
If my name was Nicky D 316 on FB, you would have no issue pulling that up on stream, and you wouldn't feel nervous.
No, because my account's private. If you got into my account and you started pulling up my family members based off that, because I've gone out of my way to private all that information, so it's not easily accessible to the average person. Sure, 100%.
Anyone who has a public.
And by the way, just to be clear, your argument right now is that Ethan Klein is a doxer because he literally did this. Ethan Klein literally pulled up a Facebook account or an Instagram.
No, you don't. I'm just doing it by the law and by Twitch TO. It's so retarded. Again, these people, if you ever see someone pull this talking point, oh, it's about the double standard. The immediate question is, well, then why the fuck are you mad at Hassan? If Hassan did nothing wrong, you don't have an issue with the behavior, you have an issue with the double standard, then why are you mad at Hassan and not Twitch? But they always want to go for both, because it is just an excuse. It is not about the double standard. It's a fucking excuse. It's a thinly veiled excuse.
This is the great part. I'm only arguing that it's illegal on Twitch. It's not illegal on YouTube. Twitch is retarded. Okay.
So who's walked back on what?
And you can't deny that he absolutely broke the fucking golden rule. It's completely different on YouTube. It is.
So wait, what is illegal on Twitch? Do the courts use that to serve somebody? This is why it's fucking cringy.
When I say illegal,
so
I mean against their terms of service.
He's a doxer in like respect to Twitch. That's so fucking stupid.
I agree. It's fucking autistic. It's not autistic.
So then why is the argument that Hassan's a doxer and not that Twitch's TOS is bad?
Well, that's something you have to take up with Twitch because Twitch will ban people.
Because you're Karening really hard here, dude. We understand Hassan Piker
that's completely unfair. No, Hassan Piker doesn't get preferential treatment. If I was not banned on stream, or if Destiny wasn't banned on Twitch, if I went on there and I pulled up someone's fucking profile and started shaking a gun around, saying,
"This is my argument. I just gave it for fucking half an hour."
I wouldn't get a 24 or a 30-day. You would be gone forever. Forever.
Well, I think Destiny's kid's banned forever, right? Just to be clear.
He is banned forever. And he didn't even do the doxing. And it was the wrong guy. But that's it.
That's the point of the branding. Wait, that's the brandishing the gun part. The doxing part is stupid. He pulled up the guy's YouTube channel. That's what we're arguing about.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is the reason that rule's in place is that anyone could set their name to someone else. And that's a scary thing. Like, if you are just a nobody.
Well, thank God they only set their name to...
Yeah, and if that happened, they would probably use that to ban people. But that's why the TOS is written in a vague way. Again, people do this retarded rules lawyering with TOS. All TOS on all these platforms is vague enough to where you can be banned for anything. You can be banned for anything, and they'll come up with a reason. They'll have a reason somewhere. The way you should look at TOS is it's expressed in the enforcement, right? They can ban for anything, and you have to sort of draw lines and try and figure out through the enforcement exactly what they mean when they put these vague words here, okay? That's how it is determined, really. There's no point just sitting here going, because look, this is all of this definition is coulds and oftens and can, you know, it's all that. It's no definitive outline criteria because they don't want to give you that because they want to be able to ban whoever they want, obviously.
YouTube.
Hold on. I'm just saying, hypothetically, let's say that you're literally a nobody. You're not even online, but you hate like an ex-girlfriend, okay? And you set your name to this ex-girlfriend. So you're like Sarah Susan's YT, okay, and you go on there and you start talking shit.
Then Sarah Susan is a stupid bitch for uploading fucking public videos on a public platform. I'm sorry, like it's fucking YouTube.
That's the rule. That's probably the rule. It's in place. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be Facebook or something.
That's not doxing. That still wouldn't be doxing.
I don't know.
I do. It's absolutely not.
I would say it's not. I would say it's not from my perspective, but it's actually also
from Twitch's perspective. That's so stupid, bro.
Why? Do we not have to live in Twitch's ecosystem?
No, we don't. We agree that all of their TOS is fucking stupid.
Well, if we're just gonna roll on that, then sure, yeah. Dude, then everything is. Then the only doxing is literally like taking someone's email. Their argument right now is
like when they're talking about, you know, the clip where they're like, "Oh, it's the hypocrisy that's the worst part." And they're like, "No, actually,
it's not the worst part. It's the gun waving and pulling up an unrelated person, calling him a fucking loser is the bad part, and that's why they probably have the first rule that you're not supposed to do this."
Dan, that's a solid argument. I got no problem with that one. I agree with that one. But when you extend it to doxer, you give people tons of range to call you a bad faith schizophrenic, and then you get on my fucking stream and you're like, "Actually, Nick, this is where you got it wrong."
He is outwardly bad faith. Yeah,
it is illegal on Twitch.tv.
Sorry, well, I mean that was.
Dude, the Twitch police are gonna come arrest you.
You know what? You are a son of a bitch. Okay, you're using that one word, not illegal.
No, you're using that one word, doxer.
Well, that's what they say. Look at the fucking page, you dumb bastard.
Then why did you not? Wait, why did you not pull up? Why did you not circle the publishing confidential information part and only point to the cause inconvenience and embarrassment? Your doxing policy that you're telling me that they have is that they if you put
Dan literally cannot take it when someone isn't willing to go along with one of his Hassan narratives. If he starts feeling like it's slipping, he starts crashing the fuck out so bad.
Confidential information is, and look, it's photographs.
Then Dan, you deserved your ban. You pulled up fucking Dan Clancy's social media sites and laughed at him. You're a doxer. You deserved it.
I'm not arguing. Why doesn't Hassan get it then?
The goat.
Obviously Dan deserves his ban.
Ever laughed at
Dan didn't get banned for doxing. Dan got banned for extreme harassment, I believe they said. Extreme harassment. Because he was talking about having all the Facebook photos of Twitch Trust and Safety downloaded, talking about having photos of their kids, saying he was willing to use them. He was going fucking crazy about Dan Clancy's porn accounts. All sorts of shit. Just outwardly doxing, threatening to dox, threatening to sue, all of it. All along. Everyone saw it. It was out in the open. No one had any illusions about this. Okay? Everyone knew this was happening. All the time, while people like Nick, people like Willy, I'm sure, people like fucking, I don't know who else covering Ethan Hassan stuff, saying, whoa, Hassan's such a piece of shit for boosting this bad empanada guy. He knows that this bad empanada guy doxes and goes crazy about people, yet they all boost him anyway. Meanwhile, Ethan is getting in bed with Dan Saltman, who engages in all the same behaviors. So, why are we supposed to care exactly? Like, it's never been my standard that you can't associate with a bad person. I've always said just be real about, like, what you think of them, like, accurately describe them. But there have now been standards set where you're not supposed to boost these crazy, deranged people spreading bad faith narratives to try and get people arrested, have authorities called on them, to try and slander them, and to try and dox them. You're not supposed to boost these people. Hassan's such a bad guy because he's boosted bad empanada. But it's totally fine for everyone to boost Dan. It's totally fine to start a show with Dan, in fact. Fuck it, man. Why not? Why not?
Anybody ever get hit by this policy? It's because obviously it wasn't the intention when they wrote it.
I mean, the intention is that if you're trying to make someone feel uncomfortable, that's like at the top there, right? If you're attempting to make someone feel inconvenient harm.
No, the top is the publishing confidential information part.
It's circled in red right there. Why? What is it?
I know.
Yeah, remember all these guys crying about a fucking Britbon guy and Salvo and fucking all these... Remember all that shit? Oh, wait, no, it was... Sorry. It's only bad when it happens to them. I forget.
The rest of the sentence.
Okay, we can go through it. You won't win on this. I'm a debate bro. You're stepping into my world, okay? I'm a debate bro.
You're stepping into my world. You're a co-host.
You commentate on the debates. I make the debates, okay? This ain't gonna go the way you think, guy, okay? It's not. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're not ready. You're not cut out for this. Listen, it says attempting to cause inconvenience, harm, or embarrassment or shame by doing this shit. I agree.
What shit? Please tell me what shit he did. What was the shit?
Publishing confidential information.
Dude, the confidential information of his public-facing YouTube videos, Dan?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Can we look at the list of examples that they give right below? It's very helpful of Twitch to do that.
Do you understand that even YouTube videos can be private, right? Distributing private YouTube videos is different than distributing public ones, right? I missed
some. That first one there is too, the real name. I think that was in that one as well. That's not good.
Okay, dude, so if you critique anyone using their real name, even if they set that to their...
So, dude, like, it's obviously, like, it's vague. It's vague. The TOS is intentionally vague. It's obviously trying to intonate through saying, like, publishing confidential information. This should be obscured info in some way. If you're exposing the PII yourself to that environment, then that's on you. That you're not being doxxed if someone references that.
Channel name. That's
I mean, if you're doing it, so, attempting to cause inconvenience, harm, or embarrassment,
I can hit every Twitch streamer. I can ban them all. I can ban every Twitch streamer because I use my real name on YouTube, and that's TOS breaking right now. Dude, Hassan will rue the day when I file these reports.
On Twitch, sir. On Twitch.
Dude, Hassan is gonna rue the day he criticized me.
Mr. Oreo.
No, listen, there's a big difference between Twitch and YouTube. Okay, YouTube is way better, way more intelligent with this stuff. Twitch is like the Care Bear, like, stupid space of all this stuff. I
gotta be honest, Dan. I agree with you 99% of the time that Twitch, in and of itself or whatever, constantly fucking has horrible TOS violations. We've talked about the DMCA shit, but this is an example of you clip chimping their TOS and trying to find meaning in it when it's not there.
I really don't think so.
I do.
I think well, hold on. Wouldn't you say that a reason that this is put into place and that Twitch would want it is that so that streamers wouldn't pull up random people that are not related to this whatsoever in front of 30,000 people and call them
But he's in the game. That's a YouTuber. He's in the game.
Listen, it could have been a Facebook. It could have been something else.
But it wasn't. And if it was, we would argue it differently. But again, Ethan Klein is literally pulled up.
Yeah, but
like,
that's why this rule is put in place to I'm not defending Ethan. You shouldn't do it either.
Okay.
They're all bad.
Chimp shout out.
Why is it bad when Taylor Lorenz isn't posting the footage of Hassan doing bro tip, but we can just ignore that fact based on and make this argument about Hassan Piker?
He doesn't mean Hassan doing bro tip. He's talking about Ethan.
What's that?
Well, it's bad when Taylor Lorenz pulls up that clip from 10 years ago saying that Ethan Klein harasses women. But everyone says, Taylor, you've got to watch the video of Bro Tip where he said if you're old enough to count, you're old enough to mount. And then you have to address that one.
That's the game.
But I'm not playing the game. I'm trying to get the truth. I'm sorry. Like, I'm
of course. He's not playing the game, guys. He's trying to get the truth. Surely we won't find anything that contradicts that, right?
That is the game. Like, if you're out here like, I can't believe you're pulling up tweets from 10 years ago. Well, listen, bro, I don't know what to tell you. That's the world. That is never changing, ever, no matter what. That is what everyone does all the time, nonstop. It will never end, ever. And your side is based.
It's not a good argument.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be a good argument. That's what everyone does.
But you're just throwing shit at the wall. What makes you better than him? What makes you better than Hassan Piker?
I'm glad you asked, because my side is honorable, and it was obviously taken out of context. Their side meant it, and they still haven't changed.
Oh, so it's just sides cock. This is like,
obviously no shit. It's Dan.
That's the big issue, though. That's why unironically, that's why we can't do a show.
That's what it's been for the last 18 fucking months, Nick. You just haven't decided to have a fucking spine. Let's be totally serious. This is the first moment where you have felt firmness in your back in about 8 fucking months at least. Absolutely crazy.
Well, it's not me saying that.
No, it was you. You just said that.
No, I'm saying that's how the game is. That is the game. 100%.
All right. Well,
do you not think that that's what people do on Twitter all day, every day?
Yeah, but you're the guy on Twitter, so you can't be like... You know what this is? This is the argument for why Hassan Piker is allowed to be a socialist with a big-ass house. It's the same thing. It's like, well, unfortunately, this is the landscape that we're in, so I might as well do it. If we lived in a whole socialist society or whatever, obviously we'd be redistributing, but I could buy a Porsche and a huge house, because unfortunately that's the current world we live in.
I guess what I would see you coming at this is like you have someone like shitting on you, like doing a lot of stuff, and you're like, well, that really sucks.
Hassan Piker smeared me as a Nazi. Hassan Piker has fucking.
Oh my god! Yep. I'm a crypto. Hassan called me a crypto fascist. Oh my god, my life's fucking over. I have to kill this guy now because he called me a crypto fascist. Nick, shut up, man.
That EFAP is a far right podcast.
Dude, it's like the same fucking 3 times that Hassan ever spoke about him. And he just repeats them endlessly. He called me a crypto-fascist. Wow, crazy. What, he called you a crypto-fascist? Whoa, that's so fucked up, man. Whoa, that's so fucked up. Whoa, that's like the worst thing ever, man. Whoa, that's so fucked up. Wow, that's awful, man. I feel really bad for this guy. Anyone else just like... I'm like playing the tiniest violin in the world for Nicholas DeOrio right now, being called a crypto-fascist by Hassan. So he called you a crypto... He said, hey, isn't there some fat Keemstar Robert who's a crypto-fascist? What, to dismiss you? Really? Oh, the tiniest violin in the world. Saddest thing I ever heard. Saddest thing I ever heard. This is totally worth you crying about endlessly on every fucking stream about Hassan for the last 3 years, isn't it? Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Pulled up my shit all the time and stuff like that and said a bunch of horrible shit about me that's not accurate. And you know what? There's a huge list of stuff I can critique with him. I don't have to make anything up though. There's enough here that I don't need to like stretch it as far as I can go. Yeah, I don't need I don't need to stretch a 50th example of when Twitch.tv was too lenient on Hassan Piker's ban. There's plenty of examples as it is that are stronger. But all
Thank you for the membership.
Thank you. Fodder in there for him to respond and get an easier clapback with.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I mean, especially looking at how many people thought that this was egregious. I think that you might be having a very commentary brain to take care versus what the
commentary take is to not lie.
Commentary doesn't lie. Okay, Nick. Okay, Nick.
Yeah, this isn't the lie, though.
You sent me a screenshot where you circled half a sentence.
Wait, what did you think that was supposed to be showing there?
The published confidential information part was pretty important to that sentence. That's a pretty important factor when determining doxing is the confidential information part. That's
this
probably
could include, what is the first example on that thing that I didn't even circle?
Okay, but that would literally that would make me the biggest glitch in YouTube
I understand.
history.
Twitch's terms of service is retarded. What do
so true, Blazito. Nick's pushing back, and you won't even just let him scot-free. You won't let him go scot-free. After months of dishonesty, you won't just let him get. Why don't you just let him get away with it? Why don't you just let him get away with it and change his position when it's convenient?
Want me to say? I agree. Yes.
Okay.
But you can't be like, hey, it's only confidential information. It's confidential information. It gives you a fucking list of what it is.
We're not being very normal right now. Anyone else feel like this isn't very normal? Anyone else feel like this isn't very normal? Any normal person wouldn't care about this, right, guys? Any normal person wouldn't care about this.
And you're like choosing not to acknowledge that. You're
because
like, no,
it's laughably ridiculous to say that a social media
then
person...
fucking blame them. Then blame them.
Nicholas DeOrio would be doxing if someone said it on Twitch. They would never enforce the policy like that. You want to say Hassan Piker...
And we can point to the fact that like people like Nathan got permanently banned.
If they unbanned Destiny right now, someone they hate on the platform, and Destiny went live and said Nicholas DeOrio made a new video on me, they would not ban him for that. They would never enforce this policy on Nicholas DeOrio.
That line there? Attempting to cause inconvenience, harm, or embarrassment. That's
guess what? Your friend hates me, so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do it for the love of the game.
Maybe he would. Maybe he'd say, hey, go check out this latest video. It's pretty good.
Maybe after the J-Stock stuff. I don't know.
But, I mean, yeah, exactly. He's coming back.
All right. Well, I think we've kind of exhausted this. I'm going to get back to my segment now, but that's really... I'm not really super happy with that combo.
Did you see the
Hey Dan, I hated talking to you today.
The Mike stuff is here. It's on the list. I'm going to talk about it because Mike retweeted something about me. So I'll let you go.
Okay.
Dude, holy shit.
Okay, so that's the end of that conversation. Now, what do we go to first here? I think before we show the Twitter stuff, let's talk about why this isn't quite enough. Why this doesn't quite hit for me. Why this doesn't quite do it for me. Okay? Let's see, why am I feeling that way? Well, guys, do we know about the Denims chat edited video? Do we know about the we all know about the edited Denims chat video, don't we? Does anyone remember this? This is a key point in the Ethan Hassan drama. It's been spread around a lot. Denims Her whole chat, she's watching this bad empanada video, and she's just nodding along. And her whole chat, as everyone always says, her whole chat was spamming cool CPS. Wasn't it, guys? Wasn't it? So that's not true at all. It's a total lie. It's a complete lie that her whole chat was spamming that. Obviously, anyone that's looked into it would know that the truth is that only 6% of chat messages were shown in that scroll, and not all of them were about CPS or calling CPS or anything like that. A lot of them were totally neutral or reasonable messages. So only a tiny percentage, a couple of percent of messages in Denim's chat in that segment actually said anything about calling CPS or anything like that. Just a tiny percentage of them. But someone who edited the video took a HTML export of Denim's chat, filtered it down to only include 6% of the messages, and then scrolled it past on the screen. Obviously, this came up on the H3 podcast. They showed it multiple times, and Ethan would say, no, it's not like edited. It's not like edited. They've just like cut it out and brought it up. And Nick, time and time again, has said that's correct. Okay? So let's just go over this. Let's go over this. Let's see this. Let's see how he's handled this lie. This blatant lie. So you can see. Here. Nick is posting screenshots of bad empanada YouTube chat messages. Why is this important? Because these YouTube chat messages are from the premiere of Denim's video. He says Denim's is premiering a video here. The video where Denims explains all of this. That Nick said was a boring nothing burger. So we know that he watched it. We know that he was there live. There's more screenshots. He was there for a decent time. He's back doubling down, he says here. You can see he's watching the Denims video. Quite a way into the Denims video at this point, I believe. So he's watched it. He watched it. He knows the truth. So that's the first part. 6% is not still quite a lot. You're totally wrong, Will. Again. So it's 956 chat messages occur from the first message to the last one. Only about 50 or 60 of them are shown. Okay? That's 6%. When you limit it down, and you limit it down further, if you actually look at the messages, most of them are not saying call CPS. They're not saying this guy's kids are eating shit. They might say things like, oh, gross, or oh, is this guy's house okay? Or is this guy's kids okay? This guy should spend more time with his kids. Stuff like that. But those aren't messages you would expect to be moderated. Those are not things you would expect to be moderated. Those are not unreasonable to have in a chat. Plenty of people have chat messages like that all the time, and we would never place responsibility on them for that. Nick, for instance, I'm sure, as many people have chat messages like that about wellness checking Bobacks or something like that. Sure, he's had chat messages like that. But we would not place that responsibility unless there was a sign that they were actively cultivating an entire chat that just did that shit. But she wasn't. That's provably false. So no, the 6% is still quite a lot argument is fucking retarded. Not to mention the fact that presenting it as though there is no edit to that video is a blatant fucking lie. Regardless of whether you still feel like 6% is a lot. Now, let's go over some other points where Nick has addressed this. So he says, I like the snarker narrative. And this is after he's seen the Denims video, by the way. This is after. So he knows the details.
This is a highlight.
We've got the original clip here, so let's watch the original clip.
The top right is the full chat, right?
Yeah. So just to make a correction,
okay.
This is the live chat.
Okay.
This is a highlight of all the CPS calls, which, by the way, is extraordinarily...
So, what did he say there? This is a highlight of all the CPS calls. No, it's not. That's a fucking lie.
Large amount. It's something like 50-something chats over the course of like 3 minutes. And that is basically your entire chat putting forth this notion of calling CPS unmoderated, unchecked.
Yeah, again, basically your entire chat. It's 6%. 6%. And that's not even all calls. It's actually about like 2 or 3% that are actually calling for CPS to be called.
Basically, your entire chat putting forth this notion of calling CPS unmoderated, unchecked,
unmoderated, unchecked, just blatantly fucking lying. Fucking lying. Obviously. I've shown this. Ethan is fucking lying there. Obviously. So, Nick says, I like the snarker narrative that Ethan claims Denims lets her live chat scroll up randomly and block the entire screen. Not what anyone's saying. Nobody is saying this chat is how it appears on Denim's videos. They know that she has her chat up in the corner. Everyone is aware that Ethan is saying this is edited. Yes. But they are not including the fact that this is a filtered chat log that only shows a tiny percentage of chat messages and doesn't even, like, even these chat messages aren't even all bad. They're not even all bad. And this is routinely obfuscated again and again and again. Let's live chat scroll up randomly and block the entire screen. No one thinks that's what Ethan's saying. Literally no one thinks that's what Ethan's saying. Anyone with half a brain knows these chats don't match the order of the ones shown on screen in the top corner. There is no context manipulation at all. So Ethan's obviously lied about the details of this. You can hear him lying in that clip. And he says, anyone with half a brain knows these chats don't match the order of the ones also shown on the screen. They do match the order. They are in chronological order. They're not out of order. They're filtered. They are filtered. The point isn't they're not in the right order. The point is, when Ethan says a whole chat's spamming this, that's a fucking lie. There is context manipulation, and you know there is, because you watched Denim's video a fucking month ago at this point. So you know that is the case. And then he follows it up with, it's edited. No shit, are you slow? Like, this guy is actually so terrible at sweeping. But it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. So, I think it's here.
Participate in
yeah, so this is when Denims was suing Ethan, or threatening to sue Ethan, okay? And she's threatening to sue him for claiming she did CPS, she was responsible for the CPS call, etc.
CPS lie, not defamation.
So let's hear this.
Got lots to do today. We do need to move this on.
In summary, their best examples of me defaming her is saying she participated in CPS lie, not defamation. She endorsed this because she's not moderating her chat, not defamation. That's literally actually provable true. Just look at the fucking video. Oh my god.
So did you hear that? He's saying he's doubling down on that claim, saying it's just provably true. Doubling down on that exact edited video. That's what this is in reference to.
And
no, Ethan, you don't understand. You manipulated it. You manipulated it by showing messages on the screen alongside fucking. It's so stupid, dude. The narrative behind that video is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy has almost convinced me that he's like 75 IQ with that statement. I'm not gonna lie. He's like almost convinced me. Thankfully, I know better. Thankfully, I know better, and I know he's being dishonest. But he almost convinced me that he's 75 IQ with that one. Literally, deliberately not presenting anything there. But there's another one. There's another time this came up, guys. I'm sure there's many times it came up.
Who's cheering him?
But has he ever actually addressed it? Let's hear.
Places in
the 3 different places, mind you, are
proven to be.
Kids are eating it. So that's your position. Your position is, I think there's shit on the floor in your house. I don't think you clean. I think your kids eat shit off the floor, and your house is like a hoarder's nest. What am I supposed to imply here? He wanted you to say that I've been to your house and there's no shit on the floor.
It's about the retarded ass.
You used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and
the 3 different places, mind you, are all the same stream. Okay, and all 3 of those places are during/after the CPS call, not the CPS call, during/after the bad empanada video that was reacted to uncritically by Denims, who's cheering him on while he's doing this.
Combines them.
So she wasn't cheering it on. That's not true.
One chat on one stream. at different points.
To make it seem like someone is
one chat on
coordinating
one
an
stream
attack on
at
you.
different points. What does that mean? What does that even mean?
Love made a good point. You said, is this...
Someone is literally coordinating an attack on him. Absolutely.
Who is coordinating an attack on him?
Equivocally.
Every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No, it's
selected.
this, I think when you full screen it. No, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full
And then he plays the clip where Ethan explicitly tells you, okay, that they clipped the chat and it's like a fucking cutout of it.
chat.
So again, he's backing up Ethan's description. He's saying Ethan's description. He disclosed exactly what was happening. Total lie. Absolute bold-faced fucking lie. Obvious, blatant lie from Nick here.
Okay, that they clipped the chat and it's like a fucking cutout of it.
Chat. It's just enlarged
Oh,
there,
really?
over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
And like it's directly explained to you in the stream what exactly this is.
No, it's not.
Like Love literally
Liar.
said that.
Liar.
timed the same way.
Absolute
It's not
liar.
timed the same way. Like all of the context is in the clip, and he's choosing to show that.
It was. It's not timed the same way. It's slow. It's scrolly scrolling. Fuck me. Slowly scrolling. It's literally. That's what he's saying there. It's slowly scrolling up the screen. It's not timed the same. They don't move at the same rate. I'm totally stroking out. They don't move at the same rate. Guys, fucking stop picking up my fucking stroke moment. They're not moving at the same rate. That's what he's saying. Slowing, yeah. It's slowly scrolling, okay. They're not moving at the same rate. That's what he's saying, obviously. Right? That's blatant. He hasn't at any point said, this is filtered. I got 4 hours sleep last night, okay? My brain is totally fried. I'm like pure running on fumes right now, okay? Anyway. It's clear what he's saying there is he's trying to explain, he's trying to make it seem as authentic as possible, right? He's trying to make it seem as though this video is as accurate as a represent. I will just start, like, if you spend 5 minutes making unfunny jokes, it will just be like timeouts. That does get annoying, okay, guys? That is actually. So that's 5 minutes for Mocha. I don't know what even the joke is there. It's just like annoying. It just starts getting annoying, okay? We're just gonna go down. Going down every comment about it. Everyone who went on for too long. Too annoying. Don't take up the whole chat with retarded comment number 30, okay? Anyway. What I was saying is that Ethan is clearly trying to present this as though this clip is as authentic and accurate as possible. Is as authentic and accurate as possible. He wants to make it seem as though whatever impression you get from simply glancing at this clip is the impression you stay with. That you take that as the truth. Okay? That you take that as the truth. That's what he wants. So he says, yeah, obviously it's edited. It's timed different. Because you can clearly see as a viewer, one is scrolling very slowly up the screen, and the other one is rapidly moving like you would expect a chat to. As you expect a chat to. So he is deliberately obfuscating the point that is being conveyed in this video, the truth that is being conveyed in this video, which is 6% of the chat messages. But Nick affirms time and time again that Ethan hasn't lied. Ethan explains it perfectly. All the context is there. All the context you could possibly need is there.
People.
Babe.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit and you just went with it anyway.
It's not.
But he didn't just make a mistake. We've just shown how they couldn't have made a mistake.
Not bullshit. Denims has confirmed in her own video that those messages did come from her chat. And all of it is after the fucking... Wait, I'm actually so fucking confused. How is that a win condition? If all the messages are from the
Guys, he's just so confused. He just can't possibly figure this one out. Guys, the messages are from her chat, so how could there possibly be context missing? I don't understand. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm so confused. So blind, just so blind, so stupid. Guys, you don't say he's not dishonest. He's legitimately retarded. That's what he wants you to think. He's not dishonest, guys. He's legitimately mentally retarded. That's what Nick wants you to believe, okay, guys?
After Denims uncritically watches Bad Empanada, why would that be invalidated? And they explain in the clip what they're watching.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bull.
iDubbbz thinks the chat messages are fake because it says edited. Denims doesn't even contest that.
Bullshit, and you just went.
Just pick it. Literally, classic Hassan tactic. Classic Hassan tactic. Pick out the most retarded comment in chat, knock it down. Oh, well, I face the criticism now. Disgusting fucking idiot. Seriously. Criticizing this behavior for so long, excusing the breaking of your principles to kill this guy for shit like this, and then you just take it on. You just take on the exact same behavior because you feel safe and like there's no one going to come for you.
Went with it anyway. Ethan
Dude.
Klein uses this very deceptively edited video.
That would be significant if a huge, like if all those messages were completely fake, that would be a whole different argument. That's not even being contested right now.
That is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem.
What is a smooth scroll?
Like that's all of Denim's chat. But
What?
that's not.
The chat's on the screen.
What do you mean, what is a smooth scroll? It scrolls smoothly, whereas a chat usually goes dun 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 dun. What do you not get there, you fucking retard? Like, seriously. To believe Nick is being honest here is to believe that he is actually mentally disabled. It is genuinely, you would have to buy into the fact that Nick has suffered severe head trauma or is operating at a 75 IQ level to believe that he is being honest here. It's absurd. It's fucking absurd.
You can see the real chat. Bro, you need to play the video. I need you to play the video. This is so manipulative.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was
So now
bullshit.
he's saying iDubbbz is being manipulative, actually. No, iDubbbz for pointing out the fact that everyone has the complete wrong impression of Denim's chat because Ethan deliberately misrepresented the video repeatedly. iDubbbz is actually being manipulative here. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, Nick, you should have just said that earlier.
Shit, and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video.
Okay, he
that
does
is just
show
like
it.
doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denim's chat. But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children.
Where was he called out for it?
I mean, much like many other
Reading the
illnesses,
chat, co-signing
it's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now,
Wait, where can you prove that it was called out?
pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like.
He obviously moves his camera up to the top corner because he's covering both Denims and the other chat. And I'm going to just say this to you straight away.
Wait. Wait, how is he covering both Denims and the other chat when he's here? Wait, how? No. The whole chat is visible there. This is the perfect place for Ethan. This is the perfect place for Ethan. Either here or up in the top left corner, because that way you can see both chats and you can see that it's not consistent, right?
Because he's covering both Denims.
I don't care about the camera point. This is the weakest point of this to me. The fact is, Nick knows that this talking point is complete bullshit, and he's still defending it. That's the real point here.
Their chat, and I'm going to just say this to you straight away because I don't want to sit here and pretend that like everyone here is stupider than they actually are. No actual person watching this thinks the chat rising from the bottom is an unedited piece of material. No one's stream just has the chat start slowly rising in the middle of a shot.
Have a
Everyone knows that, Nick. That's not what's in dispute, Nick. You know that's not what's in dispute because you watched Denim's video.
Or perhaps
at a completely different pace. By the way, this is on the screen at the same time.
he lost his extra housekeeper. So now
Nobody thinks this is an unedited clip. You're gaslighting me if you're telling me that people think this is an unedited clip.
No one's saying that. No, it's literally not the point, not the claim.
And his kids like,
why does it have to be anyone else's fault but
It's so
your own?
pathetic.
Take
It's
some
so
fucking
pathetic.
responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
Why did she make that statement, Ian? Oh, it's because CPS was already called. And again, whilst this was happening, okay, people were trying to spread the narrative, because I don't think that anyone would have saw iDubbbz or Anissa Jomha come out and say, "Hey guys, Ethan's house is actually super clean. You should." Just
Okay, and now it's back to iDubbbz, your bad friend. iDubbbz bad friend to H3. iDubbbz bad friend to H3. Okay, retard. So yeah, pretty shameful, blatant, obvious instances of just fucking dishonesty from Nick there. There is no other description for it. It just is dishonest. He's either like Nick has to either admit he is legitimately retarded, or he was being dishonest here and he let his principal slip and he's done some over-positive coverage of Ethan because he thought he could get some kind of end goal out of it. He could just admit that. But I don't think he will. Anyway, we've got more here, okay? So I'm just laying out exactly why this shouldn't be taken as like, Nick suddenly done everything right. No, this guy's done rat coverage for the last 8 months. But more shit did happen. So basically, Nick came into JStalk's chat last night, okay? Showed up for the first time in ages, asking for the Dan clip of Dan threatening Dan Clancy's family or Twitch Moderation's family, saying he had all the pictures of their Facebook photos and all that shit. So Nick showed up in JStalk's chat asking for that last night after they had a big argument on Twitter. And what do you know? Moments, basically, after that. Moments, to be honest. So we have it like... Here, we have it like... 2:29 AM. Tune in tomorrow, lol. From Willy Slackjaw. And within hours... Bear in mind, DeOrio asked for the Twitter clip after that. The clip of Dan after that. Within a few hours, Dan is in Spicy saying, "No Willy stream. Fighting with DeOrio cooked it. Was going to put him in an impossible spot. I don't know why DeOrio got so fucking butthurt. No idea he lost his mind." So Willy, once again, after cozying up to Dan, okay, agreeing to do a show with him, is presented with, assumedly, like a 6-month to a year-old information that has been out in the public, known, everyone's spoken about already for ages. No one has ever hidden the fact that Dan is a doxer, Dan copyright strikes people, Dan goes and finds people's information and calls them while they're at work and harasses them about potential threats that they're making to him online or about them defaming him online. Like, whatever it is. No one has hidden this. There's not been any secret. Everyone talks about this. Everyone knows Dan is like this. Everyone knows this is Dan's game. But all of a sudden, Nick DeOrio getting in his ear and telling Willy, "No, look at this clip. Look, it's very important. Look at this clip." Willy now drops Dan instantly. But he does research, guys. But he does research. And Hassan's evil for platforming bad empanada, okay, guys? And he absolutely would never speak to Erudite to gain a significant amount of the insight for his Destiny videos. He would certainly never trust, quote-unquote, first-hand information from Erudite for one of his Destiny videos. That's absurd. Don't even accuse him of that. Stop making up parasocial lies about him, in fact, actually. So, yeah, Willy is just totally DeOrio's bitch. He's just totally DeOrio's bitch. Now, as a result of all of this, Dan caved. To be clear, Hassan Piker didn't dox Apex Crypto, at least. Not how any normal person would define it. ID, phone numbers, etc. My problem was with how Twitch words their terms of service, and to protect creators like Hassan from punishment, while giving wrong thinkers a permaban. Oh my god. Also, the whole thing with WillyMac was not DeOrio's fault. Just this doxing meta is something that I know both Willy and Nick fucking hate. It was going to be impossible to do content without putting them in a bad spot. I think Willy's last show got blown up by it as well, Lamau, so it's easily understandable. I think it shouldn't be held against either of them. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate the clarification. So now, Dan has been forced, like a bitch, to make a statement. Actually delete your account, for real. Actually just fucking quit at this point, man. And dude, some of the shit I saw WillyMac posting too, this is just so embarrassing from all three of these people. It's fucking shameful. The idea you think you've got any ground to stand on, throwing crazy shit at these lefties, their associations and shit, after this absolute circus is hilarious, okay? Nick did not cancel the podcast. Both of them arguing about Hassan was good drama to promote episode 1. I ended it after talking to Dan about him calling viewers in the past and whatnot. He has his reasons. I just don't like that sort of thing. So can't even bring himself to take a doxing bad stance. He cannot bring himself to take a doxing bad, calling people at work bad stance. He cannot bring himself to... He has his reasons. I just don't like it. Cannot fucking bring himself to do it against Dan. Me personally, when it's Hassan, this guy's an evil liar harasser. Me personally, when it's Dan, me personally, when it's Destiny, me personally, I just don't like it. You know, there is a path to redemption. They have their reasons. So pathetic, so transparent, such a slack-jawed, mid-witted, fucking coward, bitch, loser. Absolute cuck, bitch, loser. Willy likes the goal, not the method. Yeah, we call that no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's what we call that. Okay? If you want to be careful, if you want to cut your dick off, then stop going 50%, okay? Let's stop going 50%, okay? I don't respect the people that go halfway, okay? I don't respect anyone that goes halfway. If you want to go careful, go full careful, okay? Scary ass, scary ass. I don't respect people that go halfway. Go full careful, sue Kiwi Farms, okay? Start crying about Kiwi Farms doxing campaigns. Start crying about Kiwi Farms swatting campaigns, you know? No bad tactics, only bad targets, right? Just go the full way. Fuck it, man. Start contacting Reddit service providers. Let's just start attacking sponsors. Let's just start attacking sponsors all the time, actually. Let's start calling Raycon about how Willy Mac hangs out with sex predators. With sex predators and people who sweep for sex predators. Because no bad tactics, only bad targets, right? We're about the goal, not the method, right? Call up and get Raycon on the line. Get NordVPN on the line. They still sponsor code WillyMac? Let's get that shit cancelled. No bad tactics, only bad targets. Obviously, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. I don't think it's no bad tactics, only bad targets. That shouldn't be the case. But that's what these people have adopted, and that's what this dipshit Ace is defending in chat, as he always does, as he will sweep for literally anything that benefits Israel. Which, by extension, all of this does. That's the whole point. That's the whole motivation. And everyone can see it. Everyone can see it. Is that the whole reason for this? Dan's buy-in. Dan's justification. Ethan's buy-in. Ethan's justification is when I talk like a Zionist online, people treat me poorly. And that's what this all boils down to. And they all want to pretend it's not about a political motivation. Willy wants to pretend he's apolitical when he is in bed with Destiny, possibly literally, who knows, but in bed with Destiny, obviously because he agrees with his politics to some extent, because he thinks he's an awesome guy who gets all the e-pussy, so he respects that as well, I'm pretty sure. Clearly looks up to that in some way. And yeah, there is a blatant political motivation to it. There is like a political identity that is associated with like online libs and DGGers. Nick identifies with it. Willy identifies with it. And one of their core parts of their identity is calling out the left. And it has been for like 5 years. It's a core part of their identity. It's like they feel it. Is they have to call out the left. So that means make content shitting on Hassan. Now that was great a few years ago. I loved that a few years ago when it was Hassan's a Nepo baby. Hassan is a champagne socialist. Hassan's a retard. Hassan said some vaguely homophobic things about Pete Buttigieg, and it was kind of funny. Or was it Mike from PA? I forget. Either way, these things were funny. These were all funny. These were good criticisms that were enjoyable to levy, and they were easily substantiated. It was great. Then all of a sudden, it started being... He brought on a terrorist. He brought on an actual terrorist. And he's giving material support to terrorism and should be arrested. Also, he should be banned from Twitch. Also, he should have everything taken away from him and he should be sued. That's what it became. And I don't agree with any of that. And neither should anyone else. But because it's related to Destiny, or related to Israel, or related to H3, whatever other ulterior motive people have, they're willing to just go along with this. They've been willing to just go along with it. And it comes through in people like Ace. It comes through in people like Willy. Who want to play the constant like, oh no man, it's just about the CPS call. No it ain't, and you know it's not. You know it's not about the CPS call, and you know it was never about the CPS call. You know that's a fake bullshit excuse. Sorry, the CPS call isn't fake, but it's a bullshit excuse that people employ for phony reasons as onlookers to justify actions that they agree with for a separate reason. But they just want to go CPS, 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 because it's a good emotional cudgel to hit you with. When they've actually got this totally ulterior motive that is why they care about this. And it's so blatant. It's so obvious. And they will just endlessly lie. They will endlessly lie. Willy will lie through his teeth and say, I'm apolitical. My videos are apolitical. How can that possibly be true? You fucking midwit. You absolute fucking midwit. How can that possibly be true? Or DeOrio says, oh, I'm not interested in the politics. I don't talk about the politics. Then the day the fucking embassy shooting happens, he's on Twitter, hand-wringing and virtue signaling about anti-Semitic hate crimes. It's a terrible time for Jews around the world right now. Literally saying this shit on his Twitter. Just the most bold-faced lie that they don't care or have any interest in the politics. It's beyond parody. It's totally beyond parody. It's so obvious. What is the standard I'm expecting from him? The standard I expect is fucking honesty, Twist. Anything else you're saying there is totally retarded. What are you saying? Let me read your fucking stupid chat messages here, Twist. Because I've seen you say stupid shit. You are literally, that is what you're saying. You're saying you don't expect honesty. You're literally saying in chat you don't expect honesty. Yeah, I read the Quella message. Quella says he's being dishonest. And you're like, oh, I don't expect that. I don't expect that standard from him. Bruh. We've reached such a fucking low point, man. We have reached such a low point. Yeah, I don't expect Nick to be honest. This is what his viewers are saying. His fans are saying this. Okay, Twist, I will read your exchange. You're saying that's what you said, bloody lies. Okay, let's read it then. I will read it out. I'm a fan at Quella, but I have said way before this hate train, he's not the guy I go to for facts. I go for an upbeat stream and he's funny. Quella replies, his dishonesty just makes me feel repulsed. And you reply, fair enough. It's a standard you're expecting from him, but I am not. I bloody lied about what she said in chat there. Yeah, go to bed, Gam Gam. Go to bed, Gam Gam. It's 1:45, okay? That's a joke. We love Twist. We love Twist. We love Twist. Okay, we obviously love Twist. Oh, holy fuck. Honesty should be a standard you are expecting. Honesty. And, like, not just lying about the facts. Should be a standard you expect. People should expect that of the streamers they watch fucking cover actual, like, drama stories and shit. Or, like, news stories. Like, politics-related shit, which Nick does cover. Which Willy does cover. Anyway, I think that's about it. I think that's about it for this the little Willy Nick segment. So yeah, I'm totally vindicated. I'm absolutely vindicated. And stay on that side. Stay on that side, or you accept that that you fucked up. That you fucked up. Thank you for the €2, Gucci. Supporting Twist and the stream. Okay. Yeah, Ape's totally vindicated. Apeful creeps, vindicated.